this is Shaka from Shaka's Computer Consulting again. Today I want to talk about cyber security. I'm sure everyone has heard that phrase, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Well, today, the more computers become ingrained in our culture, the more important computer security becomes. When I was 11, I was a hardcore nerd, I'll admit it, and I used to do things such as crack into Yahoo accounts. Cracking isn't hacking, it's basically just guessing. And I would do this by finding people's Yahoo accounts and guessing their password. It's easy because a lot of people tend to use the word password as their password, and things like ABC123 and their username. So it wasn't really too hard to do. If you were a smart user, you had a hard password and I couldn't get in. I wasn't really brute forcing anything, I'm sorry, let me phrase that. I wasn't really hacking into anything, I was just brute forcing it. If ABC123 didn't work, I would try 123 ABC. If that didn't work, just keep trying different passwords. Because of advances in cybersecurity, hackers are now using social engineering, which is a method of tricking people into willingly giving up their private information. Today I'll be talking about specific examples of social engineering, why social engineering is so effective, and some solutions to avoid social engineering tactics. In the paper, Information Security Technology, Ira Winkler, Brian Daly define social engineering as a process of using social interactions to obtain a victim's computer system. To obtain information about a victim's computer system. One example of social engineering would be the use of phony websites that are made to look identical to legitimate sites. This is actually called phishing, phishing, which when used, it's usually used for like bank accounts. Someone gets your email address, so they make an email that seems like it's from your bank account, saying, here, click this link and sign into your account. And sometimes they even go as bold to say, change your password immediately, your account's been hacked, just to fear people into clicking that link as soon as possible and putting their password in so they can change it. But it turns out you're voluntarily giving someone your password when they do that. Another example of social engineering is the use of fake virus scanners to pretty much render a person's computer useless until a fee is paid. I know of one personal virus like this. It's called Cyber Defender 2010. Every year they change the date. So this year the one out is 2011. But this is a real big problem because people tend to get tricked because something's popping up. It won't let them open up any other programs, and it's just saying your computer is infected by viruses. Please pay our fee and we will remove them for you. And sometimes you pay the fee and they do remove it for you, but you've just been ripped off. There was no virus, well, except the virus that said that you had a virus. There was no other viruses besides that. And sometimes they take your money and they have to fix it out. They have your money. That's all they wanted. All right, so in the thesis, Fighting Social Engineering, it states the thing that makes it so difficult to defend against social engineering is the fact that social engineers exploit the weakest point in an organization's security chain, the human factor. Today in businesses, there are a lot of company secrets that are held on computers and things that should not be seen by the general public that only employees know. And why social engineers try to go after this stuff? Because maybe they could sell this information, or maybe they could use it to get money out of the company. For example, they could use that for briberies, that maybe they'll share their secrets with their competitors unless they give them X amount of money. So that's a real threat to company security. Today's cybersecurity is so complex that instead of trying to spend months to force their way into a pretty secure business network, that it's just easier for hackers to trick people to voluntarily give out this information with the methods I talked about before. In his book, The Art of Deception, Kevin Mitnick, a very famous hacker, states the truth is that there's no technology in the world that can prevent a social engineering attack. And by that, he means that you can't prevent it because as long as people can send emails, instant messengers, private messages on Facebook, there's means for people to be socially tricked into doing something that they shouldn't because they just don't know better. You can try to train people, but it's hard. The best solution to avoid social engineering attacks is to educate employees and consumers of the methods used by social engineers. So maybe, let's say you know someone who all they do is go on Facebook. That's all they know about computers. If you tell them about methods where people are getting their password stolen because they clicked the link and they thought that they were at a different site, then maybe they won't click that link. One example that I use with people is this one website I created. It's called Fakebook. I created it for this specific example. I put it up in the top left corner, the words Fakebook. Most people, they never even looked at that. They just put their password in. I didn't collect any data. It brought them straight to Facebook like they thought. But it was my website. It had nothing to do with Facebook. I just copied their source code, put it on my website, and I could easily have been storing people's information that way. The first step in this process of educating people on the hazards of social engineering is just to try to force it in their heads. Do not click links that you don't know who it's from or why they're sending to you. Most important, why they're sending it to you, because it could be someone that you know, but what if they got hacked and the hacker uses their account to send you an email to see if you'll get hacked? So yeah, just be wary of clicking links. I have a motto that I never click a link in any instant messengers, even if I know the person, because you never know if it's that person or if that person got hacked. So I always make sure that if someone just sends me a random link, I talk to them, ask them what it's about, and sometimes I'll even Google it just to make sure it's safe. Alright, so in review, hopefully after hearing my speech, you will now be aware of some of the tactics used for social engineering. As long as you put these security practices in use, most people should be perfectly secure from security breaches. While you can catch more flies with honey, hopefully as humans we're a little bit smarter than flies. Just think about that. We don't have to be caught. Just think before you act. Alright, thank you.